Hello, Brigadiers and Brigadettes and hockey fans alike. This is your captain speaking. Welcome to my channel. Now let's jump into some hockey content. Hello everybody, we're going to be kicking off your 2021 with a video about my least favorite team in the NHL, the Pittsburgh Penguins. That's right, we are finally out of 2020. I recorded this on the 29th, again because I'm going to be visiting family I haven't seen in a long time. So, I'm still in 2020 unfortunately, but you're in 2021, so congratulations, you made it. Now, with that being said, we're just going to keep going in this series. We're going to churn it all out before January 13th with the previews of the NHL teams that we have been covering so far. And like I said, today is my least favorite team, the Pittsburgh Penguins. So, again, before we start, actually, I wanted to say one thing. My wife, a few videos back, I forgot to give her credit. She was the one that figured out you could turn these knobs and tighten this. I just thought that this was, I don't know what I thought it was. But I'll give her credit because she did not like the fact that I did not give her credit. But it's whatever. So now you have the credit. Anyway, number one, can this team contend? Well, for some time the Penguins have been able to pose a serious threat in the Eastern Conference as well as the Stanley Cup. But can they still contend? Obviously, for the past really decade, they've been able to make the playoffs and, they've always had a chance. My answer, though, is no, and there's multiple reasons for this. For starters, the team is still being led by Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin. And while both of these players are insanely talented and can both score points in bunches, they're old and have a history of injuries, especially Crosby. That's something that's been an issue for a while now, and I just think that while these two are still amazing players and some of the better players in the game, especially Crosby, one of the best players in the game, I'm not going to rely on 35-year-old guys to, I guess, carry the franchise. They're not 35, but they're pretty close. The goaltending is iffy, and they're relying on Tristan Jarry and Casey DeSmith to both perform at high levels in order to keep the machine running. And while both goalies have shown that they can put up good numbers, I haven't seen enough from either of them to say yes, they're capable of having sustained success in the NHL for multiple seasons. The goaltending is really the biggest issue for me, if I have to be completely honest. However, I will say the Penguins are pretty good defensively, and if the goaltending can hold up just fine, then they probably could be contenders if they can keep the offensive aspects going. Another thing I worry about is this team they're very top-heavy offensively, with their forward group especially. They don't get a massive amount of offense out of their blue line besides Letang. And while they do provide offense from the blue line, it really is dependent on the top two lines for the Penguins forwards in order to get this thing going offensively. So I just think that how top-heavy they are really is concerning, just because, you're 2-3 injuries away from being a team that can't score. And at the end of the day, I think the first two lines are obviously good. The third line is a line that I think really needs to step up this year. Fourth line, your traditional go out there, do the gritty jobs. But the third line, you're going to have to provide some more scoring if you want to be able to be a threat in the East. Injuries are something that I think, like I said, could absolutely kill the Penguins if they lost players like Crosby and Malkin for an extended period of time. I think they could be in the bottom half of the standings in the league. Now, the second question is, how does the top four look for the blue line? The top four of the Penguins looks pretty good to me. Ryan Dumoulin is a guy that doesn't draw a lot of attention from the media, but I think he should. While he doesn't put up a lot of points, I do think he provides a good amount of offensive value, but he just has some bad puck luck. Plus, he logs over 20 minutes a game, so that's always nice. Then you have, obviously, on the right side of the defensive pairing, Chris Letang. He's pretty well known. And he's a very good two-way player, or pretty good. Defensively, I don't think he's a stud by any means, but offensively, he's one of the better offensive defensemen in the league. Letang, known for his offense on the power play, had a down year last year compared to his normal standards. I expect him to bounce back, probably put up some more points, and probably, just help the Penguins' power play get better than what it was last year, because there's no reason with the group they have, they shouldn't be maybe even top 5 power play in the league, at least top 10. Then you have Marcus Pettersson, who I think goes under the radar. He provides a good two-way game. Doesn't put up a lot of points, but I do think, again, he provides some value. He, will lay down a good amount of hits. He isn't afraid to block a shot. So you always love to see that out of your defensemen, which I think is a big thing for the Pittsburgh blue line. They aren't afraid to lay a hit, block a shot. They'll do the gritty things that have to be done. And then also you have John Marino, who was a rookie last year. He impressed me a lot for his defensive play. And again, just like all the top 4 players for the blue line for Pittsburgh, they're not afraid to put their body on the line, lay hits and blocks. I love to see that from a team, even if I hate them, just because you can have all the talent in the world, but somebody's going to have to step up, take one for the team, a block shot, laying a hit, or, keeping a play going or being able to get it going into transition. And I think that the top 4 for Pittsburgh is pretty good. It impresses me. And I think that they do have some offensive abilities that I think are untapped and they could really get it going. So hopefully for Pittsburgh fans, not for my sake, but hopefully for Pittsburgh fans, they can, be as good as they were last year and progress and keep this team going in what's going to be a terribly hard realigned division. And then the third and final question will be, will Mike Sullivan get fired at the end of this season if it's bad? Personally, I think that Mike Sullivan is one of, if not the best coach in the NHL. Maybe not the best, but a pretty good coach. And he's proved that he can manage to get a lot of players, a team, even when, the Penguins were dealing with so many injuries last year. According to mangameslost.com, the Penguins were tied with the Blue Jackets for man games lost last year, and it cost the Penguins 16 points in the standings. Just to put that in perspective, the Penguins were 7th in the entire league last year at the end of the season for their standings. I do think that the Penguins are a very talented team, and I do think Sullivan's a very good coach, but they're a team that really can't afford to have both of its stars fall off at all, or have them both get injured at the same time. Sullivan has won 2 cups with them, and while I think it's very impressive, it appears that the Penguins have Sullivan on the hot seat, and the Penguins have not advanced past the second round, or they have not advanced to the conference finals or anything like that since their Stanley Cup win. And the seat could be getting hot for Sullivan. In my eyes, it's going to take at least a conference finals appearance to save him. Again, I do think he's a very good coach, and I do think this team could contend, but there's a lot of what-ifs. I don't like how thin they are when it comes to the depth with their forward group. I don't like how their blue line, while it is good, doesn't provide a ton of offense. Besides Letang, I think that they're going to have to maybe chip in on that part, which is tough because they do provide a pretty good defensive value. And the goaltending has got to, with Jari. And to Smith, it's going to have to hold. This is a team that is very good defensively, but at the end of the day, if the goalies can't keep the puck out of the net, even if they're on a good defensive team like Minnesota with Dubnyk, then you're going to have issues, and it's going to be a long season. So again, the Penguins are kind of at the crossroads where they can either keep contending or they can fall off in the standings. I don't know where they're at. We'll see. Let me know what you think in the comments. Everybody, have a great day. Happy 2021. And stay safe from COVID, okay? Everybody, please, please, please like and subscribe if you have not. And then, yeah, have a great day. Goodbye, Brigadiers and Brigadettes, and hockey fans in general. This is your captain signing off. Have a great week.